Hello, I'm Patty Lux. I'm the Director of Communications and Engagement for the Sun Prairie School District. I am bringing forth Operating Expectation 9, which is communicating with the public. And we're bringing that to the school board meeting tonight in compliance. And we have evidence in our documents to show what that looks like. But for purposes of tonight, we'll talk about a few different points of pride and what went well and some areas of continuous improvement. So communication sits within the culture of engagement inclusion on our strategic plan. So we want to make sure that we're always doing a great job communicating with our community. So I will talk more about what that looks like. So some points of pride that we have from the communication side of things is we feel like we do a nice job offering a variety of communication methods to our community. We don't have a one size fits all approach. If you prefer to get your information on social media, you get it that way. If you want a print piece, if you want website, we have information on all of those things. So we feel pretty proud about that. And then just our collaboration and our work across our schools and departments in our community, and thinking about how we're out and about in the community, whether it's Corn Fest or Pride Fest. We have a table there and we're interacting with our community and talking about the school district. We also get the pleasure of working with our schools, whether it's our principals or our teachers, or our other staff in the school that we can help with their communication goals. And then also departments, whether we're working on a new logo for them or, helping them think about how to communicate about something. So we do have a variety of work and get to work really collaboratively. So that's a point of pride for us. And then just thinking about the last year of our Parent Leadership Council. And so our problem of practice for the communication scorecard talks about how we want to continue to make strides in our equity goals for the district, and particularly around how our schools share funds. And so that's something we saw some really good momentum. We saw, we had some stories, we had a video with pictures of what that looked like and how that really mattered to our schools. And so we'll continue with that work this year. And then our work, we continue to submit our work both at the state level and nationally, and continue to win awards for those. And so we're proud about that we continue to look for new and exciting ways to communicate, and we get awards for those. So that's a great thing for our school district. So what went well on our over this last year as I think about communicating with the public? I think overall, it was nice to see that parent and caregiver satisfaction increased. We asked on the scorecard from last year whether families feel like they belong as a part of their student school community, and that we did move the dial. Our schools moved the dial on that. And then also my student school provides timely and meaningful communication moved from 81.4 to 82.4. So a little bit of movement in that, and that's going to be a focus this year, but I do want to celebrate that did go well overall. Another thing I talked about when we brought OE9 forward in May is that NSPRA, which is the National School Public Relations Association, they have a rubric of practice. And Adam and myself, we went through many months of benchmarking ourselves against other districts. And it showed that we are for sure an established program, and we're approaching an exemplary program. So we're excited about that. We've had increased engagement with our Hmong families this last year, and we've also improved the process for translating and making sure that's just an automatic process and not something that we have to do after the fact. It's built into our processes. What didn't go as well as we wanted? There's more things than mentioned here, but we came up with schools and classrooms. They implemented the playbook, but they did that at varying degrees. So we're still not where we want to be. We don't want to get to the point where all principals are doing it exactly the same way, but we also do want to bring some more consistency so families can count on that. That is what they have asked for and what they expect. Our district also, as we thought about what didn't go well, thought about times when we maybe didn't have an effective response to a negative story that was on social media or in the traditional media. And so that's something that, as we reflected back, something that we want to work on, and we didn't feel like went, all that great. There were some good moments, but also some bad. And then we continue to make strides in two-way communication. I want to say that we added a lot of new ways to do that last year and hear from our community. But we also agree with the board that we have ways to grow in this area. So that's something that our board has mentioned to us, and something we want to continue to work towards. And then thinking about just areas of continued improvement, a lot of them go with the last slide, but our communication, as we think about how we tell the story of the district, we do focus on things being the celebrations and the advocacy for wanting to work for us or go to our schools. But we definitely have started working on some strategies to explain and then demonstrate the challenges our district faces. So that's something we will absolutely be working on this year. We're going to focus on classroom to caregiver communication. We're doubling down on that. I cascaded expectations to our schools. We're building in some checkpoints for us to monitor how that's going. So I feel pretty good right now about how that's going to work. Development of strategies, thinking about what those might look like as we respond to negative posts on social media or in the community. So as we hear of things, we want to start keeping track of what that looks like, doing a weekly environmental scan for any themes and overall sentiment, and really calling it sort of like a rapid response, like how quick can we get the correct information out. So we'll be working on that strategy overall. And then just seeking more ways to engage our community. We're going to be using the IEP2 public participation model. All of our departments have a community engagement practice profile that they will need to work on this year, which includes using having our community help with parts of that. We'll be out for referendum this fall and thinking about how we're going to be in front of all kinds of people. And so how can we not only share information with them, and then also how can we get information back? We'll also have opportunities to hear from families. We've created a Hmong Family Advisory Group, which we started meeting this past week. And we also have a Hispanic Family Advisory Group. So we're going to continue to build relationships, strengthen those, and then also the feedback loop that goes with those. So definitely some things we can work on. We feel really good about OE9 for the most part, and are excited to continue to build on the work. Feel free to reach out to Adam or myself if you have questions. I thank you for your time.